Hello, everyone, and welcome to I feel, fun episode of I Am Christina DiArcangelo. With my guest, who you should know already because she's been on several times, my gal pal. Today, specifically, she always is every day, but what we're going to talk about today, you'll see why I referred to her as my gal pal, Tiffany Watkins.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me back on. I absolutely love coming on your show. So thank you.
I can't wait until your new endeavor starts and I get to be on the other side with you, where you get to talk to me, other than what you've already done with Vanguard. So today you'll get to notice why I refer to Gal Pal, because we're going to talk about something that is fun to us. Sometimes we come on here and we talk about last episode that we launched today was about pirates, about people who steal. And there's been episodes where we've talked about advocacy, research, technology, Tiffany Watkins herself, and all the magnificent things she does when she's not working connected to us on our side, but she's always working. We're all working together, even when we're not working together, so to speak. So what we found out, as you guys know, we always like to talk about things that we are the same about. And one of the things that Tiff and I are the same about that we found out through working with each other is that we love cosmetics. Love.
We do.
So I'm going to let Tiff kick it off because I have a tendency to talk and talk and talk. And I really want you to hear from Tiff, from her, why we thought this was important and what she has to share, starting off, because we'll just kind of go back and forth today.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Thank you. Hi, everyone. We do love, more so than just the cosmetics, we like looking fabulous. I think that's really it. We really enjoy looking fabulous. And a lot of times I think that women don't feel like we can be as fabulous as we can and be taken seriously and still be a force. So that is really, the reason why I always show up. I always am done up in any way, all the time, whether it be virtually like we have here or in real life, right in person. I'm always finding, I love accessories and things like that. And not because I'm particularly femme, it's just because I really believe in adornment. And I think that it enlightens my power. So with that, I'm going to show the number one thing that people ask me about, which is my lips, my lip colors. And today, which is really interesting, I wear a lot of cosmetics from anywhere from high-end department store or specialty cosmetic houses to Rite Aid. It doesn't matter, like wherever you can find it. What I'm wearing today is a combination. Most of the times I do mixed colors so I can get what it is that I want. I decided to wrap my head today, so I wanted something that was a little bit darker. So I went with picking up the orange. And what helped me do that today was a plum lip liner. That's what's giving me the darker portions. And this color that is by CoverGirl. And its color is number 680, or the real thing. It's a red shade, but with the shade of plum that I have, it created this burnt kind of orangey. So it's a red with an orange kind of undertone to it. And I was able to darken it and still have this highlight in here. And it's free of, it doesn't smear. So I really like that. But this is how I've created this color. You see the orangey amounts, and you can see how I've darkened it and just kind of richened it with the liner to give me something to match my head wrap today.
I love that. I love that.
To start there.
I love that. And I love how, you started talking about the whole kind of ecosystem. It's not just cosmetics. It's, how we present ourselves when we show up wherever it is. If it's, running around the corner here to go run an errand, we show up, in whatever it is that we happen to be wearing at the moment. I love that. And I also love the fact that you talk about stacking the colors and doing that in a sense of being able to pull certain things out, because artistically you're be able to pick that up from a color standpoint. And I think that's an awesome thing, because I do the same thing. That's why I was smiling so broadly when you were talking about it, because this was not something that we talked about before we got on, y'all. We don't talk about like intricacies. I can't even talk today because I'm hyped up from our enrollment on one of the studies. We don't talk about that kind of stuff when Tiff and I talk about things. So it's just so cool yet again to see something that we're similar on. If we want to stay with lips, do you want me to talk about? Okay. All right. Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Remember, we didn't practice this. So we're doing this on the fly, and this is our first time. So doing this way. So what I did was I have pushed into Kylie Jenner and Kris Kardashian. Well, Kris Jenner, their whole makeup line type thing. They both have lines. Kris launched under Kylie. And so what I did today was I actually used most of their stuff, and I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I have a whole bunch of stuff, but don't get nervous because there's just a process. So what I did was, first off, I used the lip conditioner, which is a clear gloss that's new by Kris Jenner. And it's really cool because it has like her little martini olives and her little handwriting, Kris. And it actually moisturizes your lips really well. So what I do is I put this on while I'm working on the rest of my face. So it starts to set in so that when I put my actual lipstick on or whatever I'm doing, then it sets in better, in my opinion. I also lip lined with MAC. So I use a combination, and I'm sure Tiffany does too. I think I can tell that we use a combination of multiple products. It's not loyalty to one or the other. It's more loyalty to the product itself, the quality, the color, and what, how it's working for you in that moment. So I use this to line, which is a very light color. It's called Burr, and it's by MAC. And it's just like a mauve-y kind of color. And you'll notice that my lips are not mauve-y. But what I did was I used this as the base because when you see what I used for the actual color, you're going to be like, oh, wow, that's awfully bright. So then also what I did was my actual color was one of Kylie's lip glosses. It looks like I used a lipstick, but I didn't because it's a matte lip gloss. And I'm trying to find the color. And Tiff, I'm sad to say that I can't really read what it says because
they make it so tiny.
I don't know what it's the red color. And then lastly, because I like to stack, I like to do that with my jewelry. And today I don't have jewelry on, which is odd. We were talking about that earlier. I put her drip lip gloss on top of it. So it took it like to a new, different level. And you'll see that it's like a mauve and it has pink like CD and it's a little bit of purple. So the combination gave me this.
No, that's a lovely color.
Thank you so much.
That. I do. It gives it a nice berry kind of tint to it because that red didn't really have that blue undertone because some reds do. And I think I have one of those, my Morphe Red Bloodshot has a lot of the blue undertone to it, so it gives it that deep. And I didn't see that, but you're really kind of serving up a lot of that berry blue undertone with that red. And so I think the combo is probably awesome.
Thank you. I have to, with my skin color, the reds I have to use a blue red. So if I use a red orange, it looks god awful because I really do have real blonde hair. I do get highlights, guys, but I'm really a blonde. I'm a dirty blonde. I just lift a little bit, so it's a little bit more fun. But with that kind of hair color and my skin tone, a red orange looks terrible, which is good for us to talk about, Tiff, because we didn't intend to go down that path, but heck, we might as well.
No, absolutely. We do. And red is an interesting lip color for many people because you can either get that Joker face or something that looks completely out of place if you don't really get into your undertones. My undertones happen to be yellow. I have a very yellowy undertone. If I don't get any sun, I am as pale yellow as it gets. You can kind of see that in my arms outside of the light that don't see it. You see the difference between my face and that. I don't wear face foundation. I put on blush. So this is who I am. So when I don't get sun, I'm really highly yellow. And so with that, I can't always just wear any lip colors. I have to think about the tone of the lip color. Otherwise, you look like a canvas, like the washed out canvas with color on. So you have to be really careful of that. So I understand your lighter skin being more fair, but also having blonde hair gives you the kind of undertones that need to have more of a bluish type of hint, blues, purples, berries, rather than the orange siennas and things like that to, in order to make your lips and probably your eyes and cheeks and everything look the way they're supposed to. So it makes sense.
And then, as we tan, our skin changes, right? So that Tiff has brought up a good point. And a lot of times, guys, when you see me really tan, it's not me going to a tanning salon and standing under the bulbs. I can't do that. Being somebody who works in biotech and pharmaceuticals, and it's just against my moral compass. I almost said Morse code, because to me, being in there would be like Morse code. I get spray tanned. And so if you see me sometimes for headshots or appearances or things that I'm doing or speaking events, I usually get spray tanned. So then when I get spray tanned, because I am Sicilian and Northern Italian, I got the split there and a little bit of Greek. I am olivey by nature. So when I tan, I'm olive. So then I got to play with all my makeup again, because I'm sure you have to do it too, Tiff, because now your skin's different. And so that lipstick today won't look good if I'm sprayed.
Exactly. That's it. And so we constantly make these little nuances. I think everybody does. All women do. And we make these little nuances and changes so that we can have, the perfect look, when we're trying to do something. Like today, I'm matching my headband, and today you are kind of just putting something together that matches your skin tone. And when your hair is pulled back, you still look fabulous, right? And then there's some days where we just want to play around and we have these interesting colors. Like I had this one on last week. This is one by Hard Candy. This is Press Play by Hard Candy. And it's a really smooth, you can barely see it because this lighting is horrible, but it's a really smooth, purpley, bluish color. I'm actually going to apply it to my hand. It dries, and let's see how much of this we can see. Probably not the best. I'm trying to get it shadowed so people can see. Once you press around on it, it becomes a lot more glittery. It takes a pressing around. When you do this on your lips, you get even more high glitter. And that's why it's called Press Play. It's really fun to wear. It doesn't match anyone's skin tone, really. It's just a really cool thing to put on. You have these bluish purple lips when you press them together, they become very sparkly and it looks great under the light. And it is one of my most fun it's one of my most fun colors to wear. I also have some purples, some deep purples that are that way as well. And those that's just pure fashion. It's not anything it's avant-garde.
Yep.
And sometimes you just don't care about your skin tone. You just really want that really awesome color.
Yeah. So Tiff had this on last week. I almost said yesterday, because our days just go together. And she showed me this, and I just wrote it down because I lost the paper, because I'm bad with paper. I lost the last piece of paper because I think Gucci ate it. So
Press Play Hard Candy.
Yes, that's what I wrote down, because I need to get this, because I'm telling you, I got to write that part. Press Play. There we go. Sorry, guys. The way that it looked, I was like, wow, it really is. So people who like color and artistry, and just like say you just don't feel like wearing color like on the outside in your clothes, right? But you're feeling colorful on the inside. And so a lot of times we say our company color is black, because we show up a lot of times across the board. All of us are in black. Yep. And so that's a great, that lipstick is a great lipstick when you're wearing black, because it pops, and if you want that pop, and you don't want to be all snazzy down below and wear it like a blazer, like I did last week, that was real popping in color, and you just want to downplay it because you just don't feel like it comfy wise, you can upplay it with the lip gloss and the lipstick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And I like that. Lips are, I mean, like it's something that that's where your personality comes in. Unless you're doing these glamour eyes all the time, lip is where it comes in. And that's why, like I said, I will wear things. I mean, here today I have Hard Candy, I've got Morphe, I've got CoverGirl, I've got MAC. And I wear a combination of things that are, dime stored to millionaires, because it just gives you all of the wonderful colors and looks.
Absolutely. And the other thing is to remember that as you build your kit out, you're gonna, and I took my glasses off so people could actually see, because with the lights and everything we have in the studio here, the studios, you can't really see us sometimes with the glasses, even though I have blue, well, because of the blue light, I got whatever. Anyway, I took my glasses off purposely, because sometimes you'll see I have a real detailed eye. I've got my falsies on. Today I didn't have time to put my falsies on because we started early making phone calls. So I didn't have time for that. So I did my eyes instead, but I did it a little more naturally because I wanted this lip, just like you said, Tiff, again, we didn't talk about this. I wanted the lip to pop because I don't even have any earrings on. These are my earbuds. These are not earrings. I'm not, what is it? Frankenstein. No, these are my earbuds.
I love that. That's and I like that shade. What shade are you wearing on your crease?
Oh, okay. Similarly, I feel to you, Tiff, you do a combination of different colors. That's what I do too. So I was curious about Kylie Cosmetics palettes, right? Because once I saw Chris pop out with her awesome eye colors and the martinis, I love martinis. So for me, I was like, oh, this is so cool. I've got to do this. So I bought the stuff for Chris and I bought the whole kit, as we had discussed before, Tiff, but then I also bought some of Kylie's palettes. So I bought her pressed palette that's called Mauve. And what I did was, I hope you guys can see all of the colors.
Those are cool. Yes.
Nice. In the palette. So what I did was, for the base of my actual eye, just the base of it, I did 90s Baby, which was like a light, now obviously we're older than we're not 90s babies, we're past that, but we know what happened in the 90s, we were older. And so I used 90s Baby as my base. And then for my actual liner, I do this a lot, I did not use an actual a pen or an actual eyeliner. I took a special brush that I use, and I used the Burgundy Baby as my eyeliner. So I put that in real thick. And then for the outside of the eye, I used, a combination. I used You're Welcome. And then for the crease, like you asked, I used Glowing Through It. And then I used in the real corners over here, Oh, She's Cute. And then all the way at the top, so it blends nicely, I used Blushing. So I used a whole bunch of colors, and it doesn't look like, I don't think it looks like I'm overdone.
It's all blended, and that makes all the difference. You can use all the different colors, but you have to get them really well blended in there.
And sometimes people also are now looking for a more natural look. I love drama. Okay, come on, And so whenever I get my makeup done by the Glam Squad, it's drama, the big lashes, the wing and all that stuff. I love it. The highlighters and everything, the multiple cheek colors that we use and all the shading and the highlighters. It's a lot when they do their, I can't do that. So what I decided today was, based on the fact that I didn't have jewelry on either, that I would do more of a natural look so people could see more of a natural look, which I love, because you have a more defined look today. Right. I have more of a natural look, so people can see the difference of how you play around. You can have a more natural look and still look presentable, or you can have a more dramatic look, which I prefer, really, like Tiff, and it looks very presentable. Come on.
Yeah, you can have your glam eye any time of day. That is I think our mothers and our grandmothers told us, well, that's a little bit of heavy eye for daylight, and I used to buy into that probably when I was in my 20s. But the cat eye is one of my signature looks. With different colors. I have done cat eyes of all different types, but this has always been one of my go-to eyes. And a lot of this, like what you do, is made with a liner. But I would say from probably the corner to maybe almost mid is made with a liner. And then I blend the rest with pigments. Today I blend it with two different colors. I have a black pigment, and this is where palettes come in. Yay for palettes. I'm just going to open this up. This is a Morphe palette. And this is a Morphe rich toned kind of, let me see, I'm going to remove the top. And they have these interesting colors that are, they have the weirdest names for them all the time. And so this is the two, which you can tell I use the most right here, which is Dusk. And this is called Royal. And believe it or not, that has made these colors here, the line, and then blended in, and then you have it going into that royal color, which is kind of, it looks plummy in there. It's plummy, and it has that little bit of burnt plum kind of going in there. And then I highlight with a multitude out of this one. This is a BH palette. This BH palette is out of Hollywood, and they're really, really get you on their site. You can become a BH baddie, which I think is really super cute. But it has a ton. I've had this one for a while. It has a lot of highlight, and it's got these smaller ones are shadows, and these 5 below are blushes. And I kind of use them back and forth. Sometimes they're blushes, sometimes they're shadows. But you can blend all those together and get nice highlights, nice undertones. And I think that's really what it's about. It's just creating something that is comfortable for you. There's a lot of people who are out there, and they are amazing. They have they do all the different layers. And they do the, what is that called? The deep shading. It's with the bronze and the bronzers and things like that. It's called something. That's how old I am. Look, it's there's something they do where they just really get in there with the dark kind of tones, and they have all these different colors. They blend it all together, and then they have this real glammed face. And that's wonderful. But sometimes you just want to blend your powders together and make something new, whatever feels good.
Yeah. It makes you happy, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's what makes you happy. And, sometimes when we're feeling a little blue, we want to, sad, I mean, not blue in color. Putting on some makeup will help you feel a little bit better. Like, it helps you feel bright. And I don't know. I mean, I feel better when I put on a little bit of makeup. I mean, I know after I had COVID, we shot that one podcast, and I wore green, I think, that day on purpose, because I was like, oh God, I'm still paled out from this freaking COVID. And I put makeup on because I felt like, oh, well, now at least I look like a human again.
Yeah. And some days you don't feel like wearing makeup, and some, and if you don't feel like it, I think that feeling where you feel forced to, because women also, we have to present a certain way. And sometimes even it's different for, white women versus women of color. We have to present a certain way to our environments for acceptance, for being taken seriously, and things like that. That's just, it's a hard spot for all of us. We should not be held to those types of standards, but truth be told, we often are. And so it's nice to be able just to it's almost like a self-care, daily, or you can do whenever you want.
That's right.
It's to present yourself the way you want to be presented. If it looks like you stepped off the pages of Vogue one day, and the next day you're at the shelter, that's just what you look like. And each look is okay. And anything in between, I think that, what I'm most happy about today, to be able to present these our little makeup gems with folks, is the fact that we have the right to choose it. That's it. And we can talk about it, but we also can show up to our next meeting with a scrubbed face and just go, it is what it is.
Absolutely. And the other thing that's important to notate to everybody listening and viewing us, or however it is that they sign up for a podcast, we are not being paid to endorse these products. Okay. So Tiff isn't getting paid by Morphe or CoverGirl. I'm not getting paid by Kylie Jenner, Kris Jenner, Mac. No, not at all. We're not getting paid for this. What we wanted to do was be able to talk to people about things that, because we get these questions a lot in our DMs where people will ask us, well, we love this app or whatever, what do you use? And we respond, but sometimes it's hard because we've got a lot going on. So we decided that we would carve out time to do this so that we could share ourselves with everyone based on things that make us happy. But also, as we do in every podcast episode, we try to teach you a lesson. And Tiff just hit the grand slam a minute ago. So that's why I'm kind of like all over the place here, because I want people to understand what our intentions were today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be intentional, right? I mean, we have to have intention in everything that we do. And why not for our self-care or a little bit of fun that we like to have? It's makeup. It's not so serious, right? It's one of those things where you can just have the freedom to express yourself, and however it is that you express yourself is awesome. I love the stuff that I see some of the younger folks doing with these amazing palettes, and this incredible skill. Makeup artistry has just leaps and bounds just grown. The amount of skilled hands out there doing fabulous faces, and we're not talking about the Hollywood movie studios.
No,
just homegrown folks. They
yes,
just like, look, I'm an artist, and this is what I do. When you can
yes,
find all over YouTube, and
yes,
TikTok, and yeah, they just do such great work. I don't claim to be, and I never will be. I'm an older lady and I'm good with what I do, but I love to watch it. I love to see it unfold, the things that they do. And now I just remember the name of what it was I was talking about. It's
okay. Oh yeah, contouring. Yeah, I was like,
things, those are wonderful ways to define your face, and all that stuff that they do. That is an art.
Yes, yes.
And it's great.
It's absolutely, and I love that you plug the makeup, the cosmetic artists out there, because they are artists. And, I work with a lot of them for different things that I have to do. I have two here in the Northeast, in Philly, that I utilize regularly. I have an original and then I have a backup just in case, but I love them both the same. They have different techniques and I get different looks. But when I travel, like when I went to Charleston, I found one down there. Amber was amazing. I loved her. We still stay in contact. When I was out in San Francisco, I met another. And so that's what because I love meeting them because first off, they make you look fantastic. Okay, that's number one. I am selfish when it comes to that. But then number two, I get to see their artistry and I learn so much. And it's not to steal their ideas or anything like that, like the pirating episode that Tiff and I had just done. No, it's because we learn by example, and these people show us things. And also they make you feel better. I'm not going to lie. They really tell you things about your skin, and it just feels so nice. It's like a feather. I mean,
no, it is. It's nice. And I like to also acknowledge that, and I'm going to speak for you here, Christina, because I think we're on the same page about this, that these things that we do and receive are privileges. We know that that's privileged, and that not everyone can always have a stylist with them to help them with their makeup, have frequent esthetician visits to help them with their skin, and things like that. We acknowledge that. But I also want to say that the stores, department stores, and pharmacies also have an array to help you help yourself get better at skin routines and things like that. And to exercise those, because you can do that. It's great when I got to go somewhere and I can call someone to go, hey, I need face, and I need face immediately, and they can come through for me. But I remember there was a time in my life where these two hands, that was it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fabulous then too.
And you know what too, Tiff? Back then, when we were where we were, there wasn't YouTube to the prevalence that it is now. No. So I would also recommend that you start to follow. If you want to learn some of these techniques, you should follow some of these makeup artists because they do amazing videos where they're the fast videos and they show you the before, the after, what they did. Mac does it all the time. Cicely does it. A lot of the high-end brands will do it to show you like amazing, like Tiff's cat eye that she does so well. Mac does it all the time, and especially right now because it's Halloween. So they're all doing this because they want to show the Halloween products. So you go out and you purchase for Halloween. Also, they're starting to launch their Christmas, or their holiday collection, right? So now you're starting to see all these palettes coming out. And if you watch their Instagram videos, if you have time, you will see some techniques with these new products. So then if you want to afford to buy them, or you want to go buy something else that looks like it, and then follow that technique, because I do a lot of that stuff too. It's not always, like you said, Tiff, it's not always CoverGirl, or Cicely or whatever it is.
Yep, absolutely. So I like that. I think the overarching theme is be you and be creative and exercise your freedom. There's a lot of freedom in makeup for us women. And you know what? And for people really in general, because I don't just advocate for women.
Oh, yeah.
Makeup.
Yes.
I think that men should broaden their horizons and give things a try. If it's not a full face that you want, and you just think you can enhance your eyes, or maybe you could soften your lips because they're maybe notoriously dry, try a lip cover. Maybe it's not a color, but it's something to cover the lips, maybe some SPF. But
yes.
try these things because, I read a lot of things on social media. I see men exercising their right to wear makeup. And I see also a slew of comments of hatred that come through and a million reasons why they should have not used that, or they're not real men. And I don't really think it's about that with freedom of expression. It's about being a real person, a real human, and dropping the shackles of the lines that we have to stay within.
That is
outside the lines. People are going to do what they want to do, and
who cares? Who cares?
As makeup.
That's right. Just do it. Like, I'm, as everybody knows, and Tiff knows, my son, he's 9.5, and I take Christian to get pedicures. Not if he wants color, he could do whatever he wants. He doesn't want color. He chooses to have the clear gloss put on, or he'll have them buffed because he likes the shine to his toenails. But he loves getting pedicures because it feels good. He's soaking his feet. He's a little boy. He's running. He's playing outside. He's in gym. He's playing sports, and they get little calluses in their little feet. And so he loves pedicures. And so don't knock it until you try it, really. That's what Tiff is trying to say. Don't knock it until you try it.
Yeah, try it. And don't be challenged by folks who want to define who you are based on superfluous things that you engage in. That is just, it's such a disservice that we do to each other with things like that. Self-care, it should be for everyone. Taking just simple steps to make yourself feel better should be for everyone. And it shouldn't diminish you if you're male and you would like to engage in skincare and manicure and pedicure. That doesn't mean you're any less male. It means that you're just more human.
I'll tell you what, I like a male that uses products, who takes care of their skin, that I can look at them and notice that they have something on, they're taking care of their lips, their finger, everything, because they believe in that. I love when I see that. And, my dad was blue collar. He worked hard, but my dad took care of his skin. My dad didn't even look. I mean, Tiff has seen pictures, and most people have seen pictures when he was 62 and he died. He probably looked like he was still 55. I mean, seriously, my pop had really good skin, but it was because he took care of it, and he couldn't afford expensive products. He used Old Spice, and he had Polo, for his good cologne when he was going somewhere posh. But he used what he could afford, and his skin was always perfect. So you don't, again, circling back, it doesn't have to be a buttoned up suit guy doing something like this. It could be a college kid. It could be a young kid. It could be an OG. It doesn't matter. It's what you choose to do, and no one should tell you otherwise.
Absolutely.
So I think with that, we should probably end, Tiff, because we're over time. Rye's going to choke us on this one, but that's okay. We were having fun, and he'll be happy that we were having fun.
We love that.
So as we always say, thank you so much, Tiff, for being on the show today. I really appreciated you sharing who you are with everyone from a different perspective. And we always say, remember, we are the same. I am Christina DiArcangelo. Thank you.